Hey, this is attorney Sarah Holmes of Holmes Business Law PC, and today we're going to give you the top 7 legal requirements for starting a business in Pennsylvania. So first I'll run through the list. Number 1 is know your local area and its regulations. Number 2 is get a business entity set up with the state. Number 3, does your industry require you to have a business license from the state? Number 4, if you're doing business online and you have a website, you want to have some terms of service and a privacy policy. Number 5, get your business an EIN number from the IRS. Number 6, take a look at what state and local tax accounts you might need to open. And number 7, consider getting some insurance to cover your liability in your business. Now, we can talk about each one of these things one by one. The first one is know your local codes. What that means is Pennsylvania is split into different cities, municipalities, townships, and all of those different places have different regulations regarding businesses. If you're in a major city, like for example, Philadelphia or Pittsburgh, often those cities have their own requirements as to what you need to do to operate a business there. So if it's zoning or it's a business license requirement, that's going to be on your local level. Once you get outside the big cities and you go into the suburbs or other areas, those regulations are usually established on the township level. Wherever you're going to operate the business from, you want to look at that township and see what their business license and zoning requirements are. Number 2, getting an entity set up. Getting a business entity set up with the state, such as an LLC or corporation, is not a legal requirement. However, it's strongly recommended if you're going to start doing business. You want to be able to protect yourself and your business partners if you have them. And the only way to do that is really by setting up a legal entity that's separate from yourself. And that's done by filing with the state. Either you can file a certificate of organization to form an LLC. You can file articles of incorporation with the state to start a corporation, and that again is a state filing. Number 3 is, does your industry require you to have a business license issued by the state? Now, this is totally different than a local business license. Certain industries are highly regulated by the state of Pennsylvania. Things like attorneys, doctors, architects, those are easy ones to think of because those professions require usually the people to pass a test and get some type of state credential in order to perform and practice their services, right? But there's also other industries that are highly regulated by the state that may require a license. One could be if you're going to open a beauty salon or some type of aesthetics practice like nails, hair, skincare. If you're one of those technicians, the state may have a licensing requirement from cosmetology. If you're going to do any kind of home repair services, the state's handyman statutes may apply to your business and may require you to get a home repair license. There are a number of other licenses that are regulated by the state. For example, people that sell real estate, sometimes people that sell certain auto parts or operate as an auto mechanic. Home health care is a big one. Those are all industries more highly regulated by the state that probably have a state licensing requirement. If you're going to have mostly an online business or even a business where you operate a website to sell your services or sell goods, you are required to have a privacy policy as part of your website. They want to know what you're doing to collect consumer data, if you're going to sell that data, how you're keeping it private. And if you're selling goods or services, you also want to think about having a terms of services on the website as well, so that if people need to return any goods they bought from you, if they ask for a refund, stuff about shipping and who's responsible for liability in the shipping process, all are things that would go in your website terms of service. Get an EIN number from the IRS. Instead of using your social security number for your business, which means now you're giving out your social security all over the place, you can get a different number for your business, an employer identification number. And think about doing that in conjunction with forming the LLC, again, on the state level. But the EIN is on the federal level with the IRS. Look at what state and local tax accounts you might need to open. So if we look at the state of Pennsylvania has a form called the PA 100. It's a form that you would fill out if you need to open a sales tax account, like you're selling goods or whatever services you're selling, require you to withhold sales tax. Also, if you intend to hire employees or maybe you're going to put yourself on payroll, you need to open an employer withholding account. Also, on the local level, there may be requirements for you to open tax accounts. So you're going to look at your township or your local city to see if they also have a local tax that a business needs to pay and a tax account that needs to be open. And finally, while your business entity is a good start, you also want to consider some type of liability insurance. If you have a services business, that type of policy is usually called an errors and omissions or E&O policy, meaning that covers whatever potential liability you might have for performing your services poorly. If you're going to have a brick and mortar location and you're concerned about something like people tripping and falling or injuring themselves in your business, then you generally want a general liability policy. So those are the top 7 issues that are typically encountered by our clients in starting a business in Pennsylvania. If you need help navigating any of those legal issues, we're happy to help you. Just reach out to Holmes Business Law PC at 215-482-0285 or our contact information below. Thanks.